Okay, this is a little bit of a challenge for me. I'm getting ready to go out of town, and I don't know how long I'm going to be out of town. It could be a couple weeks. And so my challenge to myself was because I have a variety of different readings. Probably a complaint some people would make is I have too many readings. I have a variety of readings, and most of my readings are a bit deck dependent. Not all of them, but a lot of them kind of are. And so that makes it challenging, right? You can't just leave with a deck of tarot and maybe a deck of Lenormand and whatever and walk out the door. And no matter what somebody purchases, I'm kind of set to go. So that's my own thing, and I love that about myself, so I'm not complaining. But my challenge was, how could I bring everything that I would need so that any reading that came through, I would be able to do it. And if I can't, what readings would I then have to just decide to put on hold so that those don't come through while I'm gone? If there's just something that seems like it's not doable. So I think I'm pretty close. I think I'm gonna have to add some things in. So I have my website up with my readings, and I'm looking to see if everything on this table, and we'll count them up at the end, if this will set me up so that I could do every reading, and if not, what do I have to fill in the gaps? So I just thought it would be kind of interesting to see for a professional reader going out of town. You don't know what readings are going to come in, right? So you don't know what to be prepared for. And because a lot of my readings are deck dependent, what would that look like if I brought everything I needed to do any reading that is available for me? Okay, so that's the challenge. I'm just gonna start. There's no order here other than I'm just going down through my website. So I have this one I'm considered maybe putting on hold because it's a newer reading, and it needs a specific deck, which is the Compendium of Witches Oracle. The reading is called the Council of Seers. Right now I'm leaving it in because that's one. I can also use that. I don't use this, and I use it for myself and for my year ahead and things like that, but I don't use it for clients a lot, just like as a random oracle. So it kind of would be just this deck for that one reading. So that's why I'm kind of considering putting that reading on hold. We'll see if there's any other things like that where I wouldn't use, other than like Lenormand and things like that. So that's kind of in the should I bring this or put that on hold right now? That's there, because that's the only reading I would use this for. I do a multi-dimensional check-in, and I do a lot of these. So these decks are no-brainers. One is my Nellie's deck, which is sort of a mishmash of tarot, Lenormand, fortune telling, playing cards. So I need that for that, although I could use a regular deck of playing cards there as well. But it's my grab and go. If the world ended, this is the only deck I need, so it always comes with me. My Oracle of Place, because I need that for the multi-dimensional. My expansion for that, but this is my Anglo-Saxon rune deck for the Oracle of Place. I use that in that. It uses so many different pieces, so it's not the greatest reading in terms of travel, but I love the reading so much that I'm just going to have to accept it. So those three decks are necessary. The Cosmovisions Oracle is necessary. And then the last component is a set of OM. So I have this set in this tin, which is for casting, but then I also have the Arboreal OM that I also it all fits nicely in here, so that just goes with me. That also covers an OM casting reading, right? So bam, 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 there we go. Now, in terms of runes, if I want to do a rune reading as well, like if somebody orders a casting reading, let me get my smallest set, this Anglo-Saxon. Just make sure I have a lot of rune sets. Yes. So this is a set of Anglo-Saxon that I made just by using paint on them, but I could do a full casting with that. So this would be one also that would only have one purpose, and I don't get a lot of rune casting readings. I get some more around the first of the year, but I don't get a ton of those. So that's an iffy one too. I could just put that reading on hold. So I'm going to put it in this pile. Okay, so that's that. Okay, what do we have next? Cartomancy Quickie. I need a playing card, deck of playing cards. I have, obviously I could pull out the Nelly part. That's just the playing card things. But I'm just bringing, I don't even know what this is called. But I am in love with it at the moment. So I am just going to bring that so that I have a deck of playing cards for divination there. This, so we're gonna go in order so I don't get messed up. I have a couple different ancestor readings, and those are readings that are popular for me, and so I want to make sure that I can cover those. I have a Journey Ancestor reading, which I need my Journey Oracle deck, so that's that. I also have a Listen and Do, which is kind of how I do my own readings for myself, that uses an Oracle and a Tarot deck. And I have a couple readings like that. This is later, but I'm just going to cover it real quick. These two decks, the Crow Tarot and the Urban Crow Oracle, can do Ancestor Listen and Do, can do Port and Storm reading, can do a grief reading. So having a set like this, I usually always bring. I also can utilize the Crow Tarot. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is a key component, no question, having to come along with me. For the Ancestor Listen and Do, the Journey Ancestor reading. For my past life readings, I use the Prisma Visions. I also, well, I'm just going to start with the one. So Uncharted Past Life reading, I use the Prisma Vision. So I have the small version of that. That will cover that. Charm casting, I'm grabbing one of my charm casting sets. This is my Fairy Tale. I need this anyways for my class that I'm wrapping up on Saturday. So that also covers that. Let's see. This is one, a Walk in the Woods, I use multiple decks. That is also one that I may put on hold because we're gonna come back to that. So I'm gonna make a note, Walk in the Woods. I'm also gonna make a note on Council of Seers. So these are question marks. So we'll come back to that one in a second. Port in the Storm reading I can do with these two decks. Token casting reading. So these casting readings are the ones that, and then also rune, right? The OM I already need for other things, so I'm just going to take that with me. But casting for tokens, runes, again, people don't get, I do get, people do get them, but they are not very often. And they would be, again, extra items that I would only use for that. So I'm not sure what if I'm going to do that. So that's going to go in this little pile over here of, let's come back and revisit that. Let's see, web reading, that needs the Weaver's Oracle, and it also needs the Illuminated Earth Oracle, and it also needs the Crow Tarot, which is down there. So that covers that. My normal ancestor reading, oh, I don't see, oh, here it is. I was going to say my Shaman's Oracle and my Illuminated Earth Oracle, and really any sort of oracle deck will work for the third one of that. I use the Lantern Oracle a lot for it, and it would also give me another, but this is kind of only females, so I may change that one out. I do have the Urban Crow Oracle, which would also work in that position, so I'm gonna set this one aside for right now. And we'll see if I'm going to put that one in there or not, because I can already do it with the decks that I have, and I'm trying to see what are the least amount of decks that I can bring and cover all of my readings. If you're just jumping in, even though this isn't live, if you're just jumping in, that's what I'm trying to achieve. So that would cover my ancestor reading, my big ancestor reading. Now, if the next one is my animal guardians, like an animal check-in. I need an animal deck and I need a tarot deck, and the Crow Tarot and this deck, I love we're using those together. So that covers that. So this is it's my current favorite animal deck, Untamed Spirit Animal. Also gives me an animal oracle, which is just always good to have. So I've got that. For yearly readings, I just need a tarot deck, which I have. I need the Illuminated Earth reading deck, or Illuminated Earth Oracle, which I have here. And I've got runes, I've got oghams, other things like that. That would work for both the year ahead and the wheel of the year. So that covers, those are already covered in what we have. My Charted Past Life, which is a reading I know I have coming up, so I know I need those. I use the Cosmovisions, the Prismavisions, a playing card deck, which I also already have, and it also needs the Art History for Past Lives deck, so I have that there as well. Okay, let's keep going. I was going to keep jumping ahead by the deck. So that covers that. Expanded Get There needs a Kipper or a Lenormand deck. I have both the Kipper deck that Miss Mendy sent me, as well as two different Lenormand decks. My Nellie's Lenormand, as well as the Caravan, or no, that's that. That one doesn't film real good. Let me grab. This is the original Game of Hope, the original 1889 one. So though I have both of those, and then I do have the Crow Tarot, although I don't love that for this. But I also have the Prismavisions. There's one other tarot deck that I'm thinking I might add in just as a general tarot deck, but right now I could do it. It just wouldn't be my favorite look, so to speak. So there's that. Okay, so Geomancy Shield, that takes, I have that because I'm, if I stay 2 weeks, I'll be starting my Geomancy class. So I have my dice, I have to cast with, I have the coins to cast with. Those are what I mostly will cast with. It's usually the dice. So I have those to cast, and I actually have a Geomancy reading to do, so I know I need those. And I've also printed out my shield charts, but I do have a printer, or access to a printer, so if I needed more, I could. So that's Geomancy. Journey with Grief, I use a tarot deck with, oops, we've frozen here. Sorry about that. It freezes up sometimes. I think as I talk so much with my hands. Journey with Grief is a tarot deck. Again, I have the Crow Tarot. I go back and forth between this set here, and I'm currently have been using the Star Child Tarot and the Ocean Dreams Oracle, both by Danielle Noel. And so I could take that set, but this Crow Tarot also works with a lot of other things as well. So I like the other one better for like Grief and Port in the Storm, but do I want to bring two sets? That will be the question. We're going to count up what we have, but this can do it. I've got what I need to do the Grief. Visually, it's not my favorite for those. I need a tarot deck for, just a general tarot reading. I have the Crow Tarot. Again, I do think I'm going to add at least one other tarot deck, so I have a variety, and of regular sized ones. Lenormand readings, Grand Tableaus, 9 cards. I've got Lenormand cards here, 2 different decks. And then my astrology birth chart readings, just use a regular standard tarot deck. This is actually a bit large for it, which is why I'm considering the one other tarot deck that I'm thinking about. Okay, so let's see how many decks do we have here. Let's put tarot. I think we just have those 2 tarot decks. We have Oracle, Untamed Spirit, Urban Crow. Weaver's Oracle, Illuminated Earth Oracle, Shaman's Oracle, Journey Oracle, Prisma. Okay, we're gonna make another mini pile. Prisma Visions Oracle. These are what I would call other things, kind of more cartomancy. So we'll come back. Oh, this is tarot, but I do not use this as a tarot deck, so I'm going to call that. That one is one I don't love because, again, it's the only thing that I'll use it for. But I do know that I have one of those that I need to do. It's on my schedule already, so I need to bring that one. That's not really questionable. Cartomancy wise, we have playing cards, two Lenormands, a Kipper, Nellie's deck. I do have Oracle of Place, and these are kind of like others. Okay, and then this is kind of like an other, and this is an other. And I don't think I said Death Day, but I have a Death Day reading on my book, so my Death Day needs to come as well. That's kind of other system over here. So I have two tarot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, what I would call Oracle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of cartomancy, what I would call cartomancy. And then other stuff would be like charm casting, geomancy, oghams, and runes. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I bring these, that would be runes and journey tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is the big question mark. Okay, so how many decks all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 decks plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of in the other category. I mean, that's not horrible. But here's the thing. So the only thing, the Companion of Witches doesn't have any multi-use at all. So I may just put that one on hold. But I am enjoying that reading, so I think I'm gonna just leave it alone. So the only one that's really in question is my Walk in the Woods, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, so the Walk in the Woods, I literally take people on a walk in my inner woods, and there is one card from each of these types, so it makes it, a lot of decks. So I pull a crystal with the Lavish Earth Oracle. I pull a feather with the Divine Feather. I pull an animal card, which I already have an animal deck down here, the Untamed Animals, so that would work for that. I pull a plant, which this cartomancy deck has is got a plant on each one, which would work for that, so I wouldn't have to pull another deck. And then I pull for a fairy energy, or fae energy. Now, I wanted to bring this Night Fairies because I've been using it with my charm casting, and I want to do a walkthrough of it if I have time. And so I think, so then I would just bring that one. I normally use the Brian Froud, but I've been playing around with this one, so I could bring that one. So that would be 3 extra decks just for that one reading, but we're going to keep it in for now because this is going to show all of the decks that if I brought all these decks, every single reading on my thing I could bring, I could use. This is the one I'm thinking about. This is the Tarot by Caro, just as a standard, playing card. I just really like this deck. It's just kind of cool and neutral. and I've just used it a lot. So as just sort of a basic tarot deck without a lot of frills and normal skinny size, this was one I thought to add in for my tarot options. That's not completely necessary, but I kind of feel like it would be helpful. Okay, so is this as far back as I can zoom? Yeah, we're going off my table. Okay, so what you see on this table, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 decks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 others. So 20, did I say 22 plus 6 others? So 28 decks or others to cover any reading that could possibly come up. There you go. Now we know. And this is pretty concise. Like, I could get rid of this deck and I wouldn't actually need it. Oh, let me show you one other thing. This was the other set of decks that I've been using a lot, and I really prefer for like Port in the Storm and grief readings. I have used the Crow Tarot and Urban Crow Oracle for those as well, and they work beautifully, or otherwise I wouldn't. I just visually like these for those. They just are more healing, you know, in that sort of way. They just kind of have that powerful healing energy. And so, you know, ideally, but the Urban Crow and the Crow Tarot really do work with a lot of other readings as well, and so they're kind of more multifunctional. So that's why I'm really leaning to there. If I put these in, I would be at 30, and I guess I could take this out because I do have, for a smaller deck, I do have the small version of the Prismavisions as well, so that would put me down to 29, and this would work for grief reading, Port in the Storm reading. It would work even for my Listen and Do Ancestor reading. It would work for all of those, and give me another one for another oracle, like a standard oracle instead of the Lantern Oracle. So let's see if I can fit this all into the, so this would be my ideal. Like, this for me wouldn't be leaving anything out, and I would feel like whatever comes my way, I would be able to address it with a deck that I actually felt good about. So that might be where I land. Okay, I hope that this has been of interest to you. I'm going to actually, let me just try to pack this into the bag that I pack my decks into, and then we'll see, do they all fit, because that's going to be the question. This is like a carpet bag almost. I guess that's what they would call it. I got it from Target a while back. The brand is Universal Thread, but it's very like, it's a carpet material, and it's got a big flat bottom. They do all fit in here, and I can zip it up. Again, obviously if I was going on vacation somewhere, I would not have to do this. But if I want to go and on a work, you know, go for a couple weeks and work at full capacity, that's what it would take without putting anything on hold. And it all fits in the bag. Of course, that doesn't count the, my glasses fell somewhere. That doesn't count the tech that has to come along, but that has to come along for classes anyways, so it's just the way it goes. Okay, anyways, I was literally just doing this and saying, how, you know, what can I, you know, how can I get it down? I did count as I put it in, and it was 29 items, most 22 decks, no, 22 decks and 23 decks maybe, and 6 like others, but anyways, a total of 29 things. So there you go. If you ever wondered, now you know.